So I started out doing yellows and oranges and decided they don't show up very well.
Okay.
So I went to purples and greens, grays rather. This is what the one I did at my son's house. And that's a direct portrait of one of his fish. So here we go. And it's basically, again, holding your brush straight up, doing the head, and then pushing down for the fin. And then I go back and point my brush again, back and push down for the tail, and up and push down for the other tail. And you just do a million of them. You don't, just do a million. I've done a million. That's why you want cheap paper. The same thing, small pushes for the fins, and then for the eye, you use the tip and the mouth. I'm gonna try one going the other way because I like to go this fish. I like to have them all going that way, the way this one is going. One seems to be easy for me. Going the other way is more difficult. There. I did one going the other way. And then if you want to do scales, or you want to do heads, I just use the tip of the brush. And I don't actually paint with it. I just, blot it onto the paper. This one I'll do a head because he's got a big fat forehead. Because my son's fish have these big heads. And he says that now when he buys them, he tries to buy the ones with the smallest heads. Because while that is supposed to be the beautiful thing, he says they get so that as they grow, their heads get so heavy that they can't swim. One of the ones that I have on the website, the person has done work after the fish is mostly dry. So it's gone back and done, stuff on the fish after it's been painted. But the big deal is just to get the basic strokes down. And that's the thing about Sumi-e is that you do 1,000 things because it's supposed to be spontaneous.
Gotcha.
Instead of going back and correcting like we like to do, like I brag about. And I think even with these, you don't worry about them too much. This going back thing. I think that's a little girl fish. I think that's a little boy fish. I don't know why.
Oh, man. This can only be described as pathetic.
Virginia?
I'm
gonna wash your mouth out with soap.
Sorry.
Remember when people used to do things like that to kids?
Oh, yeah.
I heard about it. My mother never did. But I decided I would go home. I heard that one of the kids that I played with was going to have his mouth washed out with soap for using bad words.
To see it.
No, I went home and tasted the soap.
Oh.
And the soap didn't taste bad. It was the aftertaste that was bad.
Yes.
I mean, the soap itself was pretty okay. I mean, not that I would eat it, but.
Okay.
Because I knew I would never have my mouth washed out with soap.
Because you were a dear, sweet young lady, right?
No, because my mother didn't believe in that sort of stuff. And I didn't use bad language. I didn't hear bad language. And I have a feeling that Jimmy Reynolds did in his house. So this from your mother's favorite store. But it's 30 sheets paper for $1. One might want to go to Kids Poster Paint. As a having more color without making the brush any wetter. And I was saying the nice thing about doing it with actual paint instead of on the watercloth is you can go back. Erin, this is the kind of water brush they sell for this kind of painting.
Yeah.
But the water doesn't come out when you press on the brush. You have to twist it.
Oh.
It's like a little hypodermic kind of thing. I think it's nice, like if you're out in the world painting in the air, plein air. Yeah, that's okay. Now all I have to do is introduce more colors. Nice way to do that is, let me get into the paper, is to dip your brush into two colors that go together, but are not the same color. I will try burnt sienna and purple.
So which did you put on the brush first?
The lighter one.
Oh, okay.
I suppose you could do it the other way, but I have not seen anybody do it that way. They always seem to put the lighter one on first and then the darker one. And the thing that I found is that it also makes the dark one muddy, the little pot, the jar top. So now I've got, and I don't know whether you can see it. No, it's too I've got burnt sienna and purple,
Ah, yes.
but I don't know that you can see it. The burnt sienna seems to blend with the brush,
Gotcha.
but you can see sort of the purple tip. So here we go. I'm going to do it the comfortable way. And that makes a beautiful, I think that's beautiful, a beautiful stroke. And I'm dipping the tip back into the purple because I find that if I don't, my purple disappears. So he's tricolor if you count the white. Oh, I should use a white brush. Then you can see the colors better. Do I have a white brush here? Yes, I'll do that for the next fish. Oh, I forgot his fin. That's why he's going downhill. He hasn't got a fin on his back.
We won't tell.
Yeah, but this poor fish. There. Now he's got a fin. I think he's got to be one of those ones with a big head. Because he's heading downhill. And I'll see if I can do mixed purple and orange scales. Problem is you're only using the tip of the brush to begin with. They have to be bigger. That doesn't show up on the screen. It sort of works, but the purple is diffusing into the orange. Let me try the gray brush and maybe you can see two colors. This one is supposed to be wolf hair.
Oh.
Yeah. And the brown ones are supposed to be bear hair. I don't know whether that's true. Let's try saturating it in yellow because I think you'll see the yellow on the brush, if not on the paper. So now you can see that the brush is yellow. And now I'll stick that in the purple. And of course, it's going to come up. Here's the two of them together. Oh. Bits are going to be gray because yellow and purple make gray, as we know.
As we know.
So we'll do one down here, not too big. There. That keeps the yellow. If you don't do a stroke, you just do a blot. It stays yellower. Yeah, getting a lot of yellow on the brush works better. I'm going to mess up this nice blend by messing with it. There, his scales are pretty two color. Let me do that bigger so that you get the idea. And the gray brush is probably better because I can see that it's yellow. So now it's yellow and purple.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do to make the little scales was just, oh, they'd be flower petals. Look at that.
Ooh.
Bees or cicada wings. That is a way to think about flowers, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pansy. There. Well, we're going to do pansies. Let's do pansies that are purple. And what do I put in the middle on the end? Let's try an orange. Let's try something. It works. I don't know that it's very pretty. And then I'm going to do an attempt to preview of next week, which is supposed to be dragons.
Uh-huh.
The dragon, I'm doing orange and purple. And the big thing about the dragon is to make the scales without lifting your brush. So you put your brush down and you move along, sort of blotting it into the paper. And I haven't gotten this one down yet. And then I've been putting the head on afterwards, and maybe that's a mistake, especially when you're at the edge of the paper. Looks sort of like a seahorse, but then they have antlers. And they have things coming out of their heads. Dragon. Sort of. Okay, very good. I think you guys did really well. Try some flowers. In fact, I think that that's probably a better introduction to two colors, is the flowers.
I would agree.
Because you can just move the paper. you don't have to do very much painting.
Indeed.
But that's how you learn when you teach. You do it wrong. Good.
Exactly.
Have a great week.
Well, thank
Take
you.
care,
You
everyone.
too. Take care. Have
Okay.
a good one.
Say hi to your mom.
Will do. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.